If you could live green, would you? I'm Nick Federoff, host of Things Green, where we introduce nuggets of green lifestyle from gardening, upcycling, answering your questions, sustainability, even discussing environmental issues. You can become more confident in making the right decisions for you and your family. So come along as we are Things Green. All right, Mike, just one thing. Number one, you brought me out here on the coldest day of the year. It's been raining and my hair's flopping all over the place, and you get a hat? What's up with that?
Well, we had a lot of caps, but you had to show up yesterday or the day before because the crowd here was very large. And I tell you
here.
what, well, we had over, I think, 1,000 caps, and they're gone. So,
all right, so I came out yesterday and 2 times and it was raining. You guys were still working out here?
our equipment works sunshine, rain, snowflakes, whatever it is. We adapt to whatever the climate is that day.
So I remember when Bobcat first came around. It's not an old company, but it is an old company. It's an established old company. I remember you guys only had itty-bitty tools, and now it's amazing how it's grown into the things beyond my comprehension, because you still have smaller tools to work with, but you also have giganormous tractors over there. There's a guy over there that's picking up 3,000 tons of dirt and you know.
Well, that might be a little more than he's picking up, but yes, when I started a lot of years ago also, we had loaders and we were just starting to get in the excavator business. Today we offer a wide variety of products from, again, we're standing next to light compaction equipment here. We've got tractors, we've got side-by-sides, utility vehicles, mini track loaders, we've got skid steers and track loaders. Track loaders are very popular for us. Again, our excavators, we have portable power equipment, air compressors, generators, light towers, lawnmowers. We offer just a wide variety of equipment, now all under the Bobcat logo.
And he said that in one breath. That was amazing. All right, let's look at this thing real quick.
Okay.
What am I touching?
That is what we call a rammer type compactor for compacting very small areas, trenches, alongside foundations and houses. So, if you're working, putting in a paver patio type thing or whatever, and you've got an area that's been dug out because you had to put underground lines in, you want to go with a rammer and pack that so you got good compaction underneath your pavers, so you don't have any movement once you've set them in.
Now, there's no secret that in the world of landscaping and gardening, you can lose a lot of weight because you're burning calories. With something like this jiggling, I would imagine you're losing a lot of calories at the same time. So you got health benefits.
Well, we want to make sure our operators are comfortable, whether in their machine or here. But as you move this, you can see we've got rubber isolators here. Yeah. So while the machine will compact the ground and jump up and down, the operator really doesn't get a lot of vibration back in. So for operator comfort, we do have these rubber isolators that keep the operator somewhat separated from that. So it's not as much work as you actually think. It does weigh a little bit to lift around and move around, but it's there. And
okay, so you would take a tool like this and you put it on here to squish it down like this?
Well, these are plate compactors. So if you're doing a very small area trench, I've got a small footprint with that, which does a much better job of compacting small areas. If I'm going to do a larger area, again, I'm going to do a paver project. I've done 3 or 4 of them around my house, garages, things of that nature. So you come in, you set the base material, and you compact that with a plate compactor, and then put your layer of sand on there before you put the pavers down. Again, pack that down so everything's smooth. You put the pavers in, and once pavers are in, you put the sand in between, the locking sand in between there. You go over the pavers again and make sure everything's
level. Oh, really? With the pavers?
With the plate compactor, yes. Wow. And on the plate compactor we have, you see on the just beyond the board there is a rubber type plastic pad that we can put on the bottom of it So that if you go over the pavers, you don't want to scratch them. We have that'll fit on here on the steel plate, and that eliminates that, minimizes the issues you might have with marking up the pavers. So as a homeowner, like I said, I've done, we had to do a patio before my son graduated from high school, so we had a place for people to stand around. I wanted a little better entrance into a shop that I've got, so I put pavers in and made that better.
So out of curiosity, does things around your house only get done like at my house, like when we have company coming over?
No, that's a higher priority when company's coming over. But there are things. A week ago, we also make lawn equipment, aerators, sod cutters, and fertilizer spreaders. So I brought home a sod cutter, cut the sod out, took a Bobcat loader, brought in dirt, leveled it out, and then put the sod back down, and then went over it with a roller, compacted it, and I'm hoping that my grass next spring comes up just like it did last spring. And so that was a personal project that I felt needed to be done, but it wasn't on the priority list.
It wasn't a honey-do list.
No, it was not. Mom wasn't in charge of that one.
Okay, so if you look over there, you mentioned that you use a roller. So is this a roller that you would use on your lawn?
No, this is a trench compactor that's used on construction sites where you've got a water line or bigger lines going in, and you don't want to put an operator down in that area that might be 4 or 6 feet deep. This is actually remote control operated. So you've got something in your hands, you stand back away from it, you send the trench compactor down into that area, and it compacts the material. You don't have to have an operator down in there. So
Okay. So we are in the world of Bobcat compacting right here.
Yes.
So we have that machine right there is a compactor. That's a compactor. That's a compactor, but they all have different functions.
All have a little different purpose, and all have a little different capacity. Again, you can see this much larger, cover a bigger area. The rammer has a small footprint, would cover a smaller area.
Okay.
So yes, this is what we call our light compaction equipment. Okay. We have, again, loaders, tractors. We have a variety of different attachments. Our loaders, if you take our popular loader line, the skid steers or track loaders, we have over 70 different attachments that you can use on those. Augers, grapples, hydraulic breakers, soil conditioners, levelers. I mean, there's all kinds of different things you can put on a loader to fit your need for whatever it might be. For us in the North Country, we're going to need snow blowers here pretty soon, and snow blades.
So when you mean a loader, you're talking like one of those tractors right there?
Well, I'm talking about the MT100 or the T76 that we have down the way.
Okay, so this MT100, that's this guy right here that's moving some dirt right now. Let's go over and see what he's got going on. Now, one of the neat things about a show like this is that you can have people who are actually in the industry. They get to test the equipment before they buy it.
And they do. We see, especially like this MT100, is very popular for dealership and rental places to have for people to take it home on the weekend. Again, I'm giving you that example of it putting in a patio with pavers. I don't want a big machine. This loader, we can, at the narrow tracks, we can get it down to 36 inches wide, so it'll go back through a gate very easily. If you want a little lower ground pressure, we do have wider tracks, which is on this machine, which then it's 44 inches wide. Still fit through a 48-inch gate, but for a homeowner to go there, it's small enough. You can pull it home with a smaller, a normal half-ton pickup or whatever. And again, for somebody that wants to do a little project in the backyard, whether they're moving dirt, we've got trenches that go on here if you need to put a water line in or an electrical line out to a different building. You can put an auger on there if you want to transplant a tree and auger the hole or put fences in. All of that will fit on this machine and work very well.
So what's the dealio? All right, you got a couple of things happening over here, and Camera Dude's gonna get a picture of this tractor right here. Here you have actual tires on it. And these are tractor tires of some sort, but this guy over here, he's got tracks.
Right, so again, that's a mini track loader that we just looked at, and this is a compact tractor, as we'll call it, and that fits into homeowners, landscapers that want to maintain their property and take care of things. So again, with the tractor, you have a loader on the front that we have the quick attach, where again you can put on different attachments. This one happens to have a root grapple on it. Put a bucket on it. You can put a snow blower on the front. You can do a variety of things there. On the back, we've got the 3-point where you can put implements, box blades, levelers, rototillers, things of that nature. A small tractor where you can use it to maintain your property and take care of the duties you've got out in the yard.
So how do you know when you need a tractor of that size as opposed to a tractor of that size to that one looks like it's that one's a massive hey, we got an airplane coming over us right now. Probably can't hear a thing that we're saying, but that's okay. Let's take a look at that tractor over here, because this one is made up differently obviously from that one. That one looks like it's a stand-up jobber. This one's a sit-down, take control of the area.
The MT machine that we looked at first is a stand-on type unit. This is our T76 compact track loader, kind of in the middle, upper end of our range. It's 74 horsepower. Moves a lot of material. If you need to get a lot of work done, you can. The best thing to do, how do you choose what'll fit your needs?
Yeah.
Best thing to do is work with a dealership and talk to them. Here's what I have for job duties, and what do I need to lift? How much weight? How much material do I need to move? How often am I using it? Those are all questions that they can then key you in, because we have compact track loaders that are much smaller than this. We have one size that's larger than this and can fit, again, a wide variety of attachments. I mentioned 70 plus attachments to go on a machine. This particular one, we also have a feature on it. You can see the orange plate on the back of the grapple there. It's called a Bob Dock. So hooking up on the attachments, you can disconnect from one attachment, one grapple that's hydraulically operated, hook up to the next one, and the auxiliary hydraulics automatically connect. You don't even have to get out of the machine to hook them up.
Oh, no kidding. No cotter pins to pull, no tightening anything down?
No, normally on a normal machine, you get in the unit, you work it, you come to change attachments, you have to get outside, hook and unhook the hydraulics hoses, which is not a big deal, but it still takes some time. We're here, we've developed this is new for us, and we're showing it here where you can change from one grapple, bucket style grapple, to a root type grapple and not have to get out of the machine. Just press a button. The quick attach has hydraulics on the levers. Those raise up, you back away from it, you pull up to this one, hook up, and you're ready to go on the next one.
So you can have a whole lineup of things.
I can have a hydraulic breaker, a grapple, a bucket, a set of pallet forks, a land plane. I can have a wide variety of attachments, and I can hook and unhook from all of them and never have to get out.
Now, you have the 100s. So I see a 100 way over there.
Yeah.
It has a different attachment on the front than the one we saw over there in the back.
So the first one we looked at has a bucket on it, which is very normal. What we have over here is one with, it's got a grapple on it for moving, again, logs, rocks, things of that nature. But that MT can handle, again, a wide variety of attachments. As I mentioned, augers, rototillers. Again, for us in North Country, snowblower, if you want to stand on it and blow snow, we can put that on.
Okay, so here's the thing. This thing, because it can go anywhere between 30, well, the wheels can go 36 to 48 inches, right?
The width you are either 36 inches wide or 44 inches wide.
So this one right here, it has the attachment. You got an attachment over there. Are those compatible, or do you make them based on how big the machine is? Because
this machine will accept and take a wide variety of attachments. Now it's smaller, so it will take smaller. You see this grapple is much narrower than the grapples that are over here.
Oh yeah.
So
that's a grapple too.
So it's grapple bucket. This is a root grapple. The one down there is a root grapple, as this is. This is a 36-inch wide. We're probably looking at a 72 or 84 over there. So I wouldn't put that wide grapple on. We do make attachments the proper width for what you want, but when I mention an auger, pallet forks and things like that, those are adaptable from the small machine to the larger machines, can be used back and forth. So some you can change from one machine to another, other ones you want to match to the right size. And again, on this one, it's hard to see because it's a little muddy out here today after the rain, but our first machine had what we call standard tracks on it. They're a black rubber track. They go through mud and dirt. This has what we call a multi-bar lug track that is orange, and it's non-marking. So again, you're putting those pavers in, you're going across your sidewalk, driveway, and you don't want to leave black skid marks on it. With these orange non-marking tracks, you can go in and out of the job site onto the lawn, and when you're done, you sweep off the orange that was left there, and it doesn't leave a mark on the asphalt, concrete, your pavers that you just got working on. So a nice option there.
Now, I gotta tell you, this technology absolutely fascinates me. What also fascinates me is that he didn't mention the wind. As you can tell, if you want to know which way the wind is blowing, just look. And on top of that, I'm digging the idea that it rained because you could actually see this in a real world application because people are going to come across this kind of stuff.
And most landscapers would not be working. This is a very big landscaping type show. They wouldn't be working when it's muddy, but I did work with one landscaping guy who, again, with the tracks on a machine, he had a machine on tires. And he said, we're not working today, come and visit us. We went to a job site, took a track loader out there. His son ran it and said, Dad, you got to run this. Dad ran it, did a couple things, came back, didn't look at me or the other people with me, looked at his son and said, do you realize if we had that machine, we'd be working today? Then he looked at the guy that I was with and said, how much is it going to cost and how soon can I get one?
That's
because
interesting.
It extends your season, it extends your capabilities on what you can do when you've got tracks. Again, we give them the options for what best fits their needs.
Well, I'm appreciating the fact that Bobcat has taken a lead on extending the way a contractor can make a living by having all these different options. Again, back in the day when I was a contractor, it was totally different. You had so few choices, but this is motivating almost to get back into the business again.
Well, and again, we try and offer a wide variety of products to meet the needs of our customer. You're in California, and California is changing some of what they're doing rules. Over on this side, we have actually electric machines.
This is an electric one?
We have an electric excavator and electric loader.
No kidding.
They're battery powered. The excavator uses a battery pack to turn a hydraulic motor, and then we use hydraulics for the function on the machine. On the loader, that is all electric. There are no hydraulics on that machine, so we use electric actuators on that for the lift and tilt and electric drive. So everything's electric on that machine, powered by batteries, and we use no fluids in that other than a little bit for cooling some of the battery things. But other than that, here you've got two electric machines, again, to try and meet the needs of those customers that are looking for that.
Wow, I am duly impressed. Mike, thank you very much for allowing me to come over here and to become educated.
Not a problem. More than happy to, again, talk to you. And again, if somebody's looking for a specific product and they're not sure what they need, best thing to do is go to somebody and get advice, be it a dealership, another person you know that already has that type of stuff, and that they can really match what they need for their purposes and their duties, and not overbuy and spend too much and not underbuy and get the wrong machine and go, gee, I wish I had something different. So
fantastic. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm going to take this one for a spin.
Sounds good.
I got my button on here too, someplace that says I can.
There you go. You're ready
There
to
you
drive.
go. I'm ready to drive.
All right. Thank you, Dick.
Okay, so this isn't the first time we've crossed paths, have it?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think you ambushed me last time. That was horrible.
No.
Yeah. So here's the dealio. We were in at a different trade show, and I come walking up, and she knew more about me than I knew about myself because of the guy that was sitting next to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I was next to Donald Bacher, who serves as our vice president of the Professional Grounds Management Society. And Donald let me know that he was on your podcast years ago. Very, very famous. He was a little nervous to see you again in person. So had nothing but wonderful things to say about you.
Okay, and I'm a little bit sensitive. I realize that the word podcast is very important to people, but it's a syndicated radio show, broadcast television, and the podcast stuff is just secondary. But anyway, you know what? Wait a minute. It's possible that he was on. See, back in the days, I started a show. It's called the Green Industry Talk Show. I was the first one ever to do an industry-specific show. It might have been that show.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I'm not sure.
And that was an online show. Those were back in the days when we didn't call them podcasts. I don't even know what we called them. But we are right here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're at the 2023 annual conference for Transform, where we're bringing together grounds professionals from across the country and helping them elevate and transform their grounds management practices, their teams, and themselves.
Okay. a little slower, what does that mean?
Sure, absolutely. So we are a membership society. Our members are grounds professionals who represent universities and colleges, landscape contractors. They can work at municipalities. So they're the in-house grounds management crews. And so what we do is we provide professional development. And one of the big kind of secrets behind grounds management that many people don't know is how broad it is. So we provide human resources, the business and financial aspects, and along with the technical management. So down to the irrigation, down to the soil science, we do it all. So that's, as an organization, we're over 100 years old, and we provide education to our membership in person and then through webinars as well.
So all of these, first off, the first thing I get out of this whole thing is that there is just a lot of job opportunities to happen in the world of green.
Yes, 100%.
So it's actually a whole lot more than what you're talking about, but that sure is a good start.
Absolutely, and that's something that we're working on as an organization, is to help the emerging careers get more involved in our industry, get more involved in the green industry.
Okay, so before the show opened, I was sitting out there and in the cold, freezing, and there was a guy who came up to me and he was actually kind of interested in our camera. And then so he asked what we do, and I said, well, what do you do? Very interesting. He says, well, I have 2 jobs. I said, well, tell me about them. So I work in the medical field, and he said, that's where I make my most money. He said, but I'm so afraid to jump into doing landscaping and maintenance full time. He says, I love it so much. So we were talking about that whole aspect of it. It sounds like somebody like that can really benefit from what you guys do over here, because he just wasn't 100% confident. He didn't want to lose his passion.
Absolutely. So I will say, from our perspective, with what our members do, most of them have been in the career for decades. They grew up doing it, and that's why they do it. They absolutely love it. What's unique about what we do for our membership is that we're helping elevate the profession and helping take away the perception of it's just mowing grass. We all know this industry is a lot more than mowing grass, and that's what we're here to do. We're help to elevate the profession and provide the professional development and networking opportunities that they may not get at just, at their standard organization. So we complement a lot of what an organization may provide for education and professional development, but this is peer-to-peer learning. They're learning best practices from each other, and that's the best way to learn.
So if I was just a brand new guy on the block, I want to get into it, you guys could actually help me do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest benefits we provide is the networking element, and this is not a competitive group. They're the type of people in our online forum where if someone has a question, people are more than happy to call them, email them, and provide the information they need. So we're a national organization. We're across the country, but what we have is local chapters. They're called branches. So there's like a North Carolina branch, or a District of Columbia branch, or a Philadelphia branch, who are more specialized in those areas of what they might be facing challenge-wise. And it's an opportunity for them to meet on a more local level, while also coming to the national conference and learning about the different overall challenges within the industry, which of course are going to be labor-related. That's a massive challenge that we face right now. So a lot of the sessions we have, including this morning, is about how to optimize your workforce. A lot of that comes back to culture building, which is very centric to this organization.
Okay, and she used one word over here, and she's going to be very humble about it, I think. Communication. I have the app, and oh my, that is so fun to mess around with.
Did you start competing?
Yeah, I did on a couple of them. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and then you see everybody's comments, so I could see how you're talking, and it becomes infectious.
Yeah, they are 100%. This is the place to be for our membership. It's their Super Bowl. I'm allowed to say that. Yeah. And it's the place to be. They come here every year. They look forward to learning from each other. They look forward to exploring. And the biggest thing is that they're here to learn and grow the industry. It's not competitive. They're happy to share whatever trade secrets they might have at their organization, but just an absolutely wonderful group of people. And this is our biggest conference registration year on record, which I'm sure you saw in the events app, with how much communication's going back and forth, how much conversation about trends, what equipment are we looking at, what's the biggest innovation you've seen today. That's who this group is.
Well, with that being said, thank you very much for allowing us to come in and see what you guys have going. Much success to you. And if anybody wanted more information?
Yeah, visit us at PGMS, that's P as in Peter, G as in Gary, M as in Mary, S as in Samantha.org. So Professional Grounds Management Society, welcome to join, and we're so happy to have an opportunity to talk with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. Thanks for joining me on another excursion of Things Green. Our goal is to educate, inform, and entertain so you can become exposed to a green lifestyle inside and outside of the home and community, all on your terms. Join me next time right here as we help you with Things Green.